Today's episode is entitled The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's ugly here today. It's raining outside. We're supposed to get an inch of rain today. It's like 38 degrees. So we're going to do this inside my shop today. What we're going to do is talk about my land. I told you in the first episode that we wanted to show you what we were going to be doing and why we were going to be doing it. So that's what we're going to start to do today. I want to show you what our land looks like, how it's laid out, what we see as problems, and then we want to show you what we think is going to try to fix it. And we want to discuss that a little bit. We have our 1 year plan. We have a 5-year plan as well, but we're going to concentrate sort of on the first year plan today. The good. We have about 170 acres, which is a good size chunk of land. There's only a couple of us hunting it, and we feel like that's a good acreage, and we're not going to overhunt it. It gives us room to hunt different areas of the farm. Of that 170, we got like 30 acres of tillable, which is a good thing. I think that's a good mix. We're going to take that tillable this year and turn it into a lot of different things. And then another good thing is we have great neighbors. I bought the land in August, and I've got to meet several of the neighbors around. Those guys are practicing good quality deer management. They're trying to shoot a mature deer, which helps, gives us some acreage that everybody's sort of doing the same thing. The bad part is these big wide open fields that we have. Like I told you in the past episode, they're several thousand feet long. They're down in a bottom. They have bluffs on the one side and hillsides on the other, and it just feels like everybody can see everything that's going on in those fields. So we're going to try to address those things. We don't have very good accessibility into our stands, so we're going to try to address that as well with some plantings and some screening, that type of thing that we can get into. And we don't think the deer are bedding on our property. There is certainly some good bedding there, and there's deer there, but we feel a large portion of it is bedding off of us and coming into us to feed. So we're going to try to make some improvements to get the deer to stay on our land as much as possible. The ugly part is our land has a whole lot of brush honeysuckle on it. There's some debate about whether that's good or bad, but we feel like we want to get rid of it. It does create some thick bedding areas, but basically if honeysuckle is growing, nothing else is. There's no native flora there. We're not getting any of those young trees coming up, so we're going to try to spray that probably with a plane this fall to try to get rid of as much of that as we can. Our first year plan is really broke down into what we consider 5 essential things. The first one is we want to establish and maintain the sanctuaries on our property. We've tried to identify where we think the deer are bedding, where they feel comfortable, and then we want to improve other areas. The areas you see here on the map in red show where we believe they're bedding, and areas that we're going to try to improve. We're going to do that with some TSI work, timber stand improvement. We're going to try to get that browse down on the deer's level where they like to be and where they feel comfortable. Number 2 is we want to establish more edge and better edge habitat. You'll see here on the map these areas that are in sort of a pinkish color are areas that we've identified that we're going to edge feather. We're going to create edge where deer like to travel. When we plant our fields and our clover plots and our corn and those things, we're going to be creating edge with milo and maybe some Egyptian wheat, corn, beans, clover. All is an edge. And we've tried to plant them in directions towards where we're going to be hunting. One of the first things we did was identify where our blinds, we're going to try to do some enclosed blinds down here in these bottoms to try to control our wind. We've identified those spots first and we planted to them, or we're going to plant to them. Number 3 on our plan is huntability, accessibility. How do we get into these stands? It's one of the most important things we can do. If the deer know you're going and coming, or coming and going, you know, they're on to you. We're in their world, and we're trying to get in there quietly without being seen, without being smelled. So you will see on the plan here, these areas that run horizontal or lengthwise to things. They're going to be tall, whether that's corn or milo, that's going to be tall. We can get in there, cut the middle of those out, get into our property. One of the good things we have on the west side of our property is a stream. It's about a 6 foot, 7 foot deep bank. We can walk that stream. We can get in there as best we can. So that's number 3. Number 4 is diversity throughout our property. We're trying to plant as many different things in several different areas so we can hold deer, so we can keep those bucks from seeing each other, those deer from seeing each other. They feel comfortable in their area. We believe that's going to create some holding power. And then number 5 is just to continue the management and evolution of this plan. We know a lot of this may not work, some of it might not work, so we want to be flexible. We want to watch and see where what we're doing. Is it working? You know, that's the main reason for this channel, is to be able to show you guys what works and what doesn't. Like I told you before, I've been able to see videos about how to plant things, how to make a licking branch, how to edge feather, but never if it works. So you're gonna see a lot of overall plans, some drone aerial photography, those type of things where you can see how we planted the corn and these things as it starts to grow. In future episodes, we're going to drill down a little bit further into each one of these, get a little bit more detailed. We're going to take an area, a food plot, like the one you're looking at here, and explain why we're doing what we're doing. As you can see here, there's reasons the way we're planting these things. You know, this corner property here that you're looking at, and that edge where that muddy blind is going to be, you know, we have a corner of corn, there's a corner of soybeans, and there's clover there as well. So edges, edges, edges. We're going to show you what that looks like, and we're going to be able to have some videos showing you, you know, if it works. So hope you enjoyed today's episode. There's going to be more coming. We're going to get more detailed. I hope you have a blessed day today. Take some time today to encourage someone, to smile at them. You never know if you might be the only positive thing in their life today. So take care, and we'll see you soon.